Hey guys, just decided to record a quick fight against an AI A4 Skyhawk. This is the A4 mod, the community one. I'm in the MiG-19 here, and this is a fairly brief demonstration of how to fight a more agile opponent in the MiG-19. Of course it is AI, but it is what it is. So I lost sight of him in the merge there. The AI A4 tends to dive low under you at the merge. You can see I regained him as he came back up behind me. I'd already begun a bit of a turn, and so I light the burners and go up. You can see he's beginning to try and point his nose, so if I can just stay in the vertical and kind of corkscrew towards him, the spiral climb will prevent him from getting decent aspect for a missile shot. You'll see an A9 here in a moment, which is too close, it can't make the turn. It is risky trying to bait shots like that, as you don't have any flares in the MiG-19, but it is an option. And now that I've got him to waste one missile, I know he's down to one more, plus his guns. I did briefly lose sight of him again. The A4 is quite small and difficult to spot. So you can see me kind of madly looking around here as I just keep my speed up, keep my turns steady. And in a moment here I do regain visual of him right above me as it happens, pretty much on my lift vector. I'm actually already kind of winning this fight, and the AI seems to realize it, so it changes things up here and makes a fairly abrupt pull into the vertical. The MiG-19, while it has a really decent sustained turn rate and a fantastic thrust to weight ratio, doesn't really point its nose that well. Its instantaneous turn rate's not very impressive. It can just about keep up with various aircraft, but against something like an A4 or an F5 that's really trying not to get shot, you're going to struggle to follow him, so the key is to not follow him. You can see here, instead of trying to pull the nose and get my gun pipper on him or match his speed or any of that sort of thing, I'm actually putting myself in a bit of a lag here. I'm keeping my lift vector a bit behind his flight path, with the goal of eventually working my way around behind him, as he's not going to do very well in this sort of vertical, well, semi-vertical scissors, oblique scissors I guess you could call it. He just doesn't have the engine power, whereas I do. And this is pretty much how you deal with these kinds of opponents in the MiG-19. If they're just turning in a sort of horizontal circle, as A10s tend to do, that kind of wagon wheel defense that they do, you just simply stay above them, and then you yo-yo in and swoop them when you've got a decent aspect for a shot. If you miss the attack, you just pull straight back up into the vertical and resume your perch. So you can see here I'm slowly working around behind him. I'm not aggressively pulling the nose. I don't want to lose my speed. So I'm just letting the shot come to me. I was hoping to get a nice clear shot with him sort of skylined against the clear there, where the radar would hold a decent lock on him, but it doesn't happen. I just don't have the timing for it, and so I switch back to the cage reticle and just kind of eyeball it, which works out. Snapshots with the NR30s are not bad. The issue is just ammo. You don't have a lot of ammunition to waste, but the guns do have a pretty good muzzle velocity. It's about 10% higher than the 23mm guns on the MiG-21. So it is actually a little easy to snapshot with. You just have to make sure you hit, because you don't have a lot of ammo to play with. But that's it, pretty much. Just a short little fight. I know it's against the AI, and the AI are, you know, not the best opponents, but it is a demonstration of what you can do against a more turny opponent, shall we say, an opponent who can really pull that nose around better than you can. This works particularly well against F-86s, C-101s and A-10s. Those are going to be the main thing you use it against on multiplayer. And of course, if you do encounter an A4, it works just fine on that as well, as we have just seen. Anyway, I hope you guys got something useful out of this. Thanks for watching, and good hunting.